Also, Cav, you ban me all the time. How many times have you timed me out of this chat?
SpeedGaming. Oh wait, hold on. I have a little audio interference here. Or Eddie's mic isn't muted. Very naughty. But here we go.
Right,
it's the anticipated match of
Thank you
Eddie
for watching. Stay tuned
and
here.
Nevdi.
But if you go on the SG channel, you can
hold
watch
on, sorry.
We're gonna need to mute Eddie here.
Yeah, I can't hear my
get this guy out of the first match. Maybe we just give.
Trying to do
first
intros over here. Can't hear myself talk. All I hear is.
But yes, as Emmett was saying, here we are, Nevdi versus Eddie.
Nevdi versus Eddie. This is a pretty exciting match. I'll say Nevdi hasn't been playing as much as he used to, but obviously Nevdi is still very good. And we are going to be starting with item draft in the winners quarters finals. But yeah, doing comms with me, Oates over here, and myself, Emmett. Oates,
yes.
What do you think about this match?
Well, I'm looking at what they banned and selected. Selections looks like high jump and gravity. I'm not sure who picked what, but okay. So
they start. Oh yeah, they're starting with high jump gravity. Interesting. I wonder if Nevdi maybe banned Varia. I don't see the bans, but
gravity might be interesting. It depends on. I'd be curious to know if Nevdi picked gravity, because that kind of has the potential to open up the world before you find morph, or it even has the potential to just open it up to where Nevdi potentially can find more, maybe like 50-50s or branching paths.
Well, I think if Eddie chose high jump, for sure Nevdi chose grav, because he does not like UWJs.
That is a really good pick. If that was the case,
he would certainly pick, and he would not pick high jump. I think he's banned it before. He just does not even want to think about getting beaten by UWJs. I know that's something Nevdi wants to avoid at all costs. So he'll always if he can manipulate the bans in that way, he'll do it for sure. 3 majors off the rip. Main Street having 2, and then 1 in the spring ballroom.
So so we see the map. Essentially, this is a dead end. So Nevdi is going to try to grab. Oh, he's trying to grab these missiles so he can go through this door. But we know that this door coming up is just bot swoon. So yeah, this early game is sometimes a little bit rough. You never know how the game is going to play out, but clearly the game wants you to get gravity and go up.
Right
here.
I didn't see. Did you see Eddie check that major on the right? I don't know if it was. I mean, like you said, I think they can grab that one major though, right? On the right side of Main Street here. So we'll see what this is. I didn't see it on the way up, but if it's speed, they can grab the other one. Nope, charge. Okay.
Okay, interesting. I'm curious to know what Nevdi's game plan is here. He's playing it very cautiously, as if there's. Well, I guess he wants to get back up to the very top here. I guess.
Right. Ooh, Eddie kind of fumbling here a little bit.
Which is weird because he's using a hitbox. I have to point that out.
Woo! We're only 2 minutes in here.
I have unplugged my controller and plugged in the hitbox to do things like that have been impossibly difficult on controller, and I get it immediately. Just saying. But
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Oates ain't wrong here. Well, this is the wrong commentary if you're expecting me to defend that hitbox there. But so yeah, I'm a little surprised it took him that long. But
here he's the Mesquite Elite, but elsewhere he's the Mesquite something else. But anyways,
Nevdi finally getting this map. I don't think he had it right. He just now got it. So he has a little bit of a missile advantage here. I don't know if Eddie's gonna have to go back down and grab that. I don't even think getting those missiles where they got them was in logic though. Because
I don't think where Nevdi got them, it was logic.
Yeah. But of course, charge. This is the one thing you're looking for in general. When you get charge is croc, because charge doesn't unlock a lot of things. It's Batoon with wave from the right. It's croc, and honestly, I don't know what else. Maybe Kraid. I don't know. But yeah, so Eddie's just gonna do this croc. I didn't see what it was guarding. Either it's missiles or X's or whatever. But it's probably mandatory.
It's an X.
Oh, it's an X. So you just have to do it.
So yeah, it looks like definitely going to be. I wonder if there's an E-tank around because this acid is a little bit dangerous.
Yeah, with grab, it's like not the absolute worst.
Yeah,
so
it's not too
so
bad,
he
but-
should be able to get back fine, but you have to take a little bit more damage on the way. I mean, you have to be careful, right? But I mean, he's on a hitbox, so he's not going to break spin, so he'll be all right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, now we each got to dig in on Eddie.
Yeah. We each get one, right? We each
Square
get
up,
one.
yep.
That's fair. That's totally fair.
All
we
right.
each get one.
Now we have to be neutral here. Yeah.
Well.
So yeah, it looks like nevdi is just following Eddie's path.
Yep.
nevdi did opt to get these missiles before, which isn't a bad play because up like the northern portion here, there could be a missile door, so he tries to like potentially bypass a step, which is kind of the way I like to try to play if possible, but sometimes it's incredibly pointless. So
yeah, I don't know if this missile will really gain him some time here because they're both going to have to do this power bomb play here, and I don't really see any doors. It depends. I'm almost expecting speed here. I didn't see if that Main Street Major was important, but we'll see.
Wave.
Oh, okay, well, there's speed.
Yeah, after speed, it might just be a filler.
Yep.
So
Wave does have its logical uses, though. There's a few parts. It can put that early green hill zone in logic, I think, but I don't know.
You want to know something funny? Nitro said reverse required, or reverse bottoon might be required. I've only seen it twice ever in Seeds.
Yep.
So
yeah,
that would be interesting.
I ran into that for the first time recently too. Remember, I think I don't know if that was my tournament seed or what, but yeah, that bottoon, the reverse bottoon, which I was talking about earlier, which can definitely be possible.
Yeah. And throw some people off, but in this case, it might be the only option they have. I believe the other path to Brinstar was heat locked, so it's kind of obvious that the game is going to go that route if they don't find another E-tank, or if they don't find an E-tank at all. I see 2, 3. There's plenty of E-tanks, but
yeah, they got a good amount. There's another X over there, guarded by a bunch of super doors. It doesn't.
It doesn't look like they can even get to them.
No, I think you can. Did you see that that green room? I think you go through that bomb block on the right. You have to use a lot of power bombs, but I think it was actually possible to get that X. I don't know if Eddie will do it, but yeah, I think it was possible. When nevdi maybe pauses, you can see it looked like a route to get through.
Okay, yeah, I'll try to take a look. You're probably trying to screenshot some of these maps. It's hard to.
Yeah, it's a good idea. So nevdi, I think nevdi and Eddie probably feel a little comfortable with this loadout. I think Eddie just doesn't care ever about the loadout, honestly, but nevdi does, and I do think if nevdi has comfortable equipment, then he will be a lot more competitive. Eddie is obviously a really hard opponent to deal with, and nevdi is a little bit more rusty, I'll think, at the moment. But so I do think that the match does lean in Eddie's favor, of course. So nevdi will have to make some plays here, I think. And I do think this loadout is and look at reverse bottoon, by the way.
Yep.
I
think it was blocked.
Okay.
But yeah, so nevdi's not too far behind here. He just needs to pick up wave, and he's already grabbed those missiles, so it should be fairly quick. I think he'll understand that bottoon is required.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I must have misread that map, or it was as far enough. Sometimes though, if an X is so far and a new zone is so close, I think it can be a tough decision. I don't know how you feel about that. Like maybe you just always have to go for the X, which I do think is generally the smarter play. But like, let's say that X was accessible and it was really far and you had to use like all your power bombs. Do you still think that you have to go for it, or?
I guess it just depends on what else is over there. So in this case, there's a few E-tanks. There's, I think, a couple X's.
Yeah. You have to be pretty careful here,
tough.
by the way. Look at Eddie's HP. I don't even know if they've saved. I mean, he's safe now, but and also, I don't know if you guys know this. If you hug this left pillar, you can get hit by bottoon. There's a couple patterns that can just slam into you, so you have to be careful.
Yeah. All right, very nice.
All right, nice. So Eddie gets through that.
All right, come on, nevdi. You can survive the heat. nevdi's playing very cautious right now, I will say.
Yeah.
Which is,
I mean, this is kind of where Eddie, Eddie's experience and in your experience too. I think this is like with the really top runners, like being able to confidently go through some of these rooms is obviously like a huge skill. And here it's like paying pretty huge dividends, right? Because Eddie's just like cruising and heading there. Do you see that route, by the way? Oh, you're okay. Sorry, I didn't see the water super door, so it is blocked.
Oh, yep.
That's the one I didn't realize was blocked.
Yeah, so I think nevdi realizes.
And it is taking nevdi a little longer to spot this, maybe. That this is necessary, because he keeps pausing, so he's like, wow, is this really what I have to do? And he might even be considering that bottom door.
Is he going for the bottom door?
Well,
I mean, this is good. I mean,
can you do? I mean,
I think it leads
hard.
You can do it. It does lead to Big Pink.
Did he say? Oh, okay. Honestly,
look at him,
because that was way harder than the previous hell runs. Because like you could easily mess. Wow, this is actually a pretty big catch up for nevdi.
Yeah, this is huge. Skipping that.
That's actually a really good play.
Yeah,
that's really sick to see. Big play by nevdi, honestly. Like that basically catches them up completely.
All right, so trying to look at the quick map here from Eddie. It looks like he was trying to go to the map, but he entered Torian.
Yep.
So now he's going to check the left, and it's kind of just underneath him currently and to the right. So nevdi's going to be looking for supers here. I think Eddie found them through heat when he did enter Torian.
Right. So looks like nevdi is going to head straight to the map. He does have just enough power bombs to get back as well. So he's going to be trying to get there. I mean, there's an argument too to blind a little bit more here to like find proper ammo. Oh, look at this aqueduct here. So some free items in there, supers, and right next to the map. So yeah, Eddie getting Brinstar map and super. So Eddie's probably feeling really good right now.
Yep. So nevdi has made up some time here. It's very nice.
Supers from nevdi and Torian.
Wow. Yeah, so that's where Eddie got them, but now
okay.
nevdi's wanting to diverge here.
I didn't see that. Yeah, you're right.
So looking quickly at Brinstar, we see Kraid. That's a kind of an awful route, and then we see Ridley. So Ridley, Ridley is in Brinstar, and now we see divergence here with nevdi continuing through Torian, and I guess we'll see.
Be the worst. I mean, it just depends if he can get this map like within a reasonable amount of time. No payoff here, Eddie's going for X-ray. He does see Ridley, so he is thinking about, okay, so plans to kill Ridley. Doesn't necessarily need to do it this moment. But
is nevdi gonna do this? Because if he fails at all, he has high jump. He should probably just if there's heat in the next room, it's over.
He's in trouble. Okay. A little bit of a risk there from nevdi,
which I kind of like, because I mean, he does obviously know who he's playing, and he knows that Eddie is just making constant progress.
Yep, I'm assuming that is why he's doing that, like taking this a little bit more of a risk here. And here's nevdi now exploring Torian. Eddie's not really getting a ton right now though, so this is good for nevdi in a way, right? If he can make some progress in Torian and spike some items that Eddie's, may not get for a while. Because I think there's another zone besides Torian and Brinstar, right?
I assume. I didn't see.
Let's see. Straight down, I think, is another zone. But Eddie is going to pick up another major here. Top left a bubble mount.
This is bad for nevdi, though. There's just nothing. So now it's getting to the point to where he just has to return.
And there's no save too, so this is actually like quite awful. Man, that is such a big burn, honestly, for nevdi. Like, that's pretty rough. I know nevdi is like a proponent of every zone needs to have like a boss or something, and this is kind of why. Like, it's just such a big bust here, having absolutely nothing. Yeah, there's some circle and some X's, but who cares, like that doesn't get you anywhere.
And I know he's thinking about that currently too, so.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think nevdi does perform, he's pretty serious about tournaments, so hopefully it's not affecting his mental too much, and he's just locking in. Eddie getting ice kind of nice for maybe some clips or something. Not essential right now, but he does have charge wave, so ice is good here. Ice and X-ray, so looks like he's gonna go ahead and is he gonna take care of this now? Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah. No, he's here, and this is kind of a isolated boss, so
yeah.
This is fairly easy because on the way back he doesn't get heat damage.
Yep, and he has grab, so he doesn't get completely slowed down. So yeah, he should be able to get out pretty easily.
Tried something a little sneaky there, but didn't quite get it.
Is nevdi doing a little collection here? It looks like I'm not too sure. I think maybe.
Oh, he's going to Norfair now.
Okay,
very nice actually. Obviously, okay, so it depends on. Oh, never mind. Terrible.
Oh, I know he's not happy about that because.
When he's taking hits.
Jeez.
Yeah, this is a bummer.
Bummer. That you just completely blocked. So this Torian gamble, had nothing, and then he's like, well, one of my outs here is Norfair. So let's just go Norfair. Instantly denied. So. Yeah, that's pretty brutal.
Yeah, and there's really no good farming right now. He has to make it through Hadarubi.
Yep. One of the issues here, too, is nevdi's almost doomed in a path of following Eddie's footsteps unless he sees everything and just decides to go to the next zone, which I don't know if that's very likely, but it could be if he feels like those two majors don't allow him to kill Ridley yet. I don't know. We'll just see what decisions nevdi makes.
Is he contemplating reverting? I don't know. There is a door to the left that may be the pile, the worm pile, which he could try to farm, but currently he's in kind of a rough spot. These fish don't have a great drop rate, so.
This is a brutal farm. I mean, this is horrible. These fish have nothing, too. Yeah, this is pretty bad. The thing is, if he reverts, I mean, the thing is, everyone's probably wondering, like, isn't nevdi, like, supposed to be really good? Like, what's going on here? Honestly, he's just in a horrible spot.
What? No one was thinking that, huh?
The thing is, this may look a lot worse. It looks like he's, like, noobing around, but honestly, this is just such a bad spot. And there's not a lot nevdi can do. And because of the lack of saves, if he reverts, he's just back to the beginning. I don't think he has saved once. He loses everything.
It's been rough. Yep.
So you almost just have to farm this.
I think he can make it through Hadarubi now. I think he should just go.
Yeah. Might just have to risk it. You might have to just risk the death, right?
Yeah.
Because, like, you have to think about, how long I farm here versus, like, that just makes me lose. So might as well just go for this anyways.
Yeah.
But I think he has enough.
Yeah, he should definitely kill the seahorses for power bombs because he is currently out. So,
yep.
But yeah, if there was a couple majors here, let's say if Vario was here or Plasma Ice or just something, then it would have been really nice for nevdi.
Right.
It wouldn't have been really nice, but it would at least given him a opportunity to make up some ground. But
yep, for sure.
Unfortunately, there was nothing. So
it's the real tragedy is that he couldn't even flesh out Norfair. Like that's like a big bummer, honestly.
Right, and there's no good save, so it's not like he can save check N.
Yeah, there's just no real option. He had to farm. So yeah, basically my point to what I was saying before, this is just what nevdi had to do. He had no option there. So he was just put into a really bad spot. Meanwhile, Eddie's kind of just blazing through, making progress. He went into Rex ship. He's gonna check these majors. This is a little bit. Is this spicy at all? Not really.
It's not too bad.
When you do this and fall, maybe. But
these guys are very generous with the health drops, the Megalodites. So
they have a triple shot there that you can shoot and farm, and they drop a lot of health. All right, so we're going to get a major here, potentially two. Nope, just one.
Ooh,
Spazer.
Nice filler. Very nice.
Yep. So, I mean, all the collection Eddie has done has been essentially nothing. I wonder... So right now, I'm thinking nevdi maybe in his head is thinking about gambling a little bit, but we'll see what he does. Really,
yeah.
I mean, the safe play, the correct play is still, like... probably grab these majors.
He needs to also be careful to not get hit by a veer. I can't remember what they deal when you have gravity, but
right.
Oh no, he's good. He's good. It's the different. It's the farm. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I thought we were about to see a tragic moment here.
Yeah, that'd be brutal. After all that farming, then getting blasted. Is this a major on the left here for Eddie?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. It must be, yeah.
I think he's trying to farm up a little bit.
So this is interesting notes. Doesn't this mean that the logic was probably go in the end from a different angle? Because there's like heat everywhere. They don't really have this movement. Like potentially they were meant to go into end from that other side.
Unless I didn't see Eddie grab a potential major, maybe he skipped something. I would assume that there might be
everything. So that's why I'm a little. He collected everything in that other zone before he.
Oh, well, there's Varia, so.
Right, but something was meant to give him. You know, what Eddie just did was not in logic. So there's a few things skipped potentially, but, well, honestly, that play pays off. Eddie has Varia. He does not have his thing on auto, which I think he knows. Oh, okay. I was like, Eddie, please.
Good thing there's a save right here, but yeah.
Yeah, he did have a save. It would just would have lost a little bit of time.
Yep. So it looks like nevdi is going to be following exactly what Eddie did here. Yep. So he's going to grab this reserve. He's going to be going to kill Kraid, and then he'll probably drop down for wreck ship.
Right. Yeah. I guess the one divergence that could like maybe you know what? I don't know. I don't really know how to cope this out. Eddie's cruising. He has grab Varia. He has speed high jump. He has charge with PRKD beam.
He's pretty much good to go.
That can stop him. I think he's probably gonna go back, kill Ridley, then go. I mean, he might go into that same zones that nevdi did, but when he does, eventually he can still get into Norfair, so he won't be completely blocked. So no matter what, there's not a ton stopping Eddie here.
Yeah. I guess we'll see on the next pause. I don't know if there was another. There is an entrance.
Yeah, there's an end entrance from here. So like.
It's to the right. It's above Torian and to the right a little bit. You see right there. Yep.
But even if Eddie like.
Oh, Meridia as well though.
Oh, I didn't. Is that where they? No, that's not where they.
And he did skip a major, maybe two, and Big Pink there was. But the reason he wanted to do this is because wreck ship's right here. Obviously, he's not going to backtrack all the way for probably space or something.
Yep. Getting a little mixed up here, I think. Yeah, he's trying to not pause Eddie here, so he's going to the right, but he had to go up first. I'm assuming because they have not seen Mother Brain that Eddie will go ahead and kill Ridley here.
And then I guess the choice after that is M or N. So
right, or even T, right? Because he hasn't seen T yet either.
Right. Yeah.
So he does have choices. We'll see. So yeah, nevdi again still just following the footsteps of Eddie, now killing Kraid, collecting these majors. Yeah, I guess we see the C. So is Eddie just going?
I think that's the smart play.
Yeah.
And he's definitely going to play it safe, I think.
Yep. Yeah, I didn't really remember where Ridley was, but I do think that Eddie is just heading straight to Ridley. Yep, there it is. Oh wait,
so he has to wrap in a weird way. Yeah.
Okay. There's that.
Or he can do this fun
that he never got to, huh? Because it was just so far away. I'm assuming.
This one.
Maybe... Yep.
Yeah. So I assume this with high jump puts the. Well, would it put the hall in logic?
X-ray hallway in logic. Maybe. I think you would need a lot of tanks potentially. I'm not too sure because I know bombs can put it in logic. I think. People could correct us in chat, but I'm not too sure what actually does because you would then need tanks and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm not too sure.
Speed plus high jump works for X-ray hall. Okay. So actually, he was good. So what Eddie did was logical.
Jump. Oh yeah. Because you take the damage run jump, right?
Yeah. So yeah.
How many tanks do you need for that to be in logic, too? So I would assume you need a good bit because they're pretty lenient on that in hard tricky, right? Like they don't expect you to do low HP hell runs and low HP damage thresholds, right?
Right. Yes. It's almost like double the amount that
yeah.
is expected. Not quite double, but it's like 1.7 or something.
Right. Eddie now making way on Ridley here. PRKD beam, 33 missiles, 10 supers, so this is going to be no problem. He does kind of have a low amount of HP. I mean, like,
it should be good.
Play it pretty safe, but like if this was an actual PRKD run, like you could die here easily because you want to push the limits and kill it fast. But I imagine Eddie, if it starts getting dicey, will just take it super safe.
Aaron he'll pause abuse every hit he is about to take since his auto is not currently on.
Right.
All right, so nevdi is going down direct ship, which, as we know, is probably a good thing for him because he's going to want Varia. But yeah. We'll see what Eddie does here after. I think this is interesting. So Meridia is kind of, I think, in this quadrant. So he might just run back left, or I don't know if he could run back left.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm assuming here he will just do what he think is closer.
Yeah, so Meridia is a little bit out of the way. So I think Norfair is the better option.
Right. I think he just goes, just straight right here.
So here's what I'm thinking. nevdi knows that Torian play is bad, and he knows that Eddie very well could have avoided that. I'm curious to know if nevdi sees Meridia and knows that it's not the logical choice. So at this level, we like kind of understand how each player is going to play. Right. And we know that if Norfair is closer, and it's just obviously closer, that my opponent, Eddie, will absolutely go to Norfair. He's going to play this way. He's going to kill Ridley after this.
Freeze was kind of crazy what Eddie just did. That was actually nuts what he just did.
But yeah, so in nevdi's case, it'd be interesting to see if he decides to take the Meridia play, because he knows in this case, Eddie is going to Norfair.
Yep. I will say in nevdi's position, I'm 100% doing something like that, because I'm giving Eddie the benefit of the doubt, and that, that could be a bad play, like that might not even be the correct way to approach it, because Eddie could have very well shambled as well. Nevdi doesn't know. So in some ways, just playing your game plan is good, right? But yeah,
I think so. In a 1v1, when there's best of 3, playing your game plan is good, but you need to be smart enough to make diversions when you know that you're probably behind against a really good opponent. And I think that's what makes people good when they're playing like a 1v1 situation.
Right. The thing is too, like, even if you assume Eddie did what you did, you probably assume he didn't get into as many health shambles as you, and like was out here farming the little fish for like 5 minutes.
That was rough. Yeah.
So like that's also just like an unfortunate, unlucky situation. I can't tell. I wasn't paying attention on Eddie's. By the way, nevdi did do this part like a good bit quicker.
He did.
Being a little cautious here. So I think in his spot, honestly, he just needs to go and like immediate. He has a save. I think you don't even farm here in his spot. Just like a very minor mistake. I mean, I don't know what you're feeling. I think he's. Oh wait, but he has to do this. Well, he had the reserve, so I think he's had to go.
In this case, I'm playing a lot more aggressive.
Yeah,
and I'm
playing
probably avoiding every major and only picking up X's on the way.
Yeah.
I don't really see any benefit to any other major at this point, unless it's Plasma, and he might be trying to play for Plasma here, but we know it's Spazer. But after this point, if he keeps playing 4 majors,
this one maybe, but then again, I mean, he's in almost go mode. But you're right. Like I think you need to like start cutting some corners after a big time loss, probably. Yeah, we'll see what he does. And did we see if this is this Fantoon?
I did not see.
Okay. Kind of for the race to be close, the copium path we're taking here is that this is not Fantoon. Meridia is the progression. Eddie just wastes a lot of time here.
And maybe Norfair leads him into Torian, which we know is nothing.
And it's not Fantoon, so let's see.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And
okay. So
well, okay, that's not bad.
This might actually be good. He's gonna go to Torian here.
Yeah. So if nevdi goes straight to Meridia, kills Fantoon, you know, and then goes Norfair, it's possible.
I mean, that is his path. I think he wins if he does that. So we'll see how he plays it.
I don't know if he wins, right?
It depends on how
close.
fast Eddie gets to this Torian map.
Right. But it will make it a lot closer. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Like very, very close. So now is nevdi going to go straight?
Oh, that's right. It's a water map, so he knows. That's right. So, he's not going to continue though, is he?
No, he's going to go.
To he's going to the other B.
Yeah, he's just going to go to B from here. That is smart. And by the way, guys, that's a very good thing to recognize. If you're only looking for Fantoon, or even if you're looking for 2 bosses, but Fantoon's one of them, you should probably skip the water map. So if you know it's a water map, you know it can't be Fantoon. So what just happened here? Oh,
so he's going into Norfair. He's actually opting to avoid Meridia. Maybe he's playing with the assumption that Norfair has Fantoon and Meridia has Mother Brain.
What? He's going into Norfair from this side.
Yes.
Well, nevdi's cooked essentially.
Yeah.
Play, unfortunately. I mean, I think that's fine. So basically, what I think happened here is that, I mean, nevdi just decided to play his plan, which I do think, arguably, is probably better on average. But you know, that means he didn't really let that mess up psych him out. So I guess he's just deciding I'm gonna play my plan regardless, because this is just the standard play.
And we have the power of obviously watching both runners, so we know exactly where everything is. But nevdi is still playing just fine. A few hiccups at first, but this is all fairly logical, normal playing. Yeah.
I mean, realistically, if he didn't have that hiccup, he wouldn't be that far. He's not even that far behind.
No,
he's
not at all.
He's gonna see the end map and then be like, okay, you know, now I go Meridia. So he's not that far. He's you know, slightly a zone behind, but that was such a bad hiccup in Torian. It is kind of impressive how not far behind nevdi is.
Now here's one thing I'm interested in though. He sees Mother Brain, but he's continuing through, but he knows Ridley is at Big Pink. So now this is a potentially mistake, I think.
Yeah, this is tough though, because I think this actually is a really hard situation in general, because Norfair can just have Dragon and Fantoon, and if you go back to kill Ridley, then do you then come back here, or do you? I think it's just tough. I don't really know.
Yeah, I guess you're just playing
an impossible situation to mathematically do efficiently, because it's just so tough. I don't know. He did have that save at the start of Norfair, so basically what he's doing here is getting the map and just kind of the reason this is a tough situation, because if this is Fantoon, you kind of have to kill it, because you need to know if Dragon's here, right? So and then you realize you're losing a lot of time.
Yeah,
it's tough.
It's a really tough spot to be in. So
yeah.
All right, Eddie's gonna be cleaning up Fantoon here. He already knows where Dragon is, which means that he doesn't need to do Torian. I think we've seen every zone then. So yeah, obviously the Torian map is not anything he needs. And I think that's every zone.
Eddie already has his game plan in mind, and he's good. And they do know where ship is, I think. So yeah.
All right, so we have our nickname for Eddie, the Mesquite Elite. What about nevdi? Does he have a nickname?
You know what's funny? I only think of your nickname, Nevster.
The Nevster? Yeah. I just put stir at the end of everything for everyone. So it's kind of a placeholder nickname until we
think of it now all the time.
Yeah. Well, that's the placeholder, but we'll figure something out for him.
Yeah.
You don't say the CHEAT word in the. You're all gonna be toast.
Yep.
That's a ban. That's a ban. That's a ban. Yep.
The Mesquite Elite, though, I actually really like that. I don't think I've heard that till just now, till you just tell me.
I couldn't remember if I heard it from someone, but I had to come up with something other than, you know, the other word that's being banned currently.
Yep.
Yep.
No, the Mesquite Elite, that's a good one.
Yep.
All right, well, nevdi, he's going to get this map, and I think once he gets this map, he's probably going to be like, okay, well, GG. Because he just got burnt too many times.
Yeah.
He got burnt a little too much on some of the routing. I think here, honestly,
I think he might have
faster to kill Dragon and go back. I don't really, or do you just load and kill Ridley and go M? I don't really know what's the most efficient.
He didn't see M, so he just pointed it out. So.
Oh, but even so, like in general, you would never do that. Like you'd only do it if you knew you were behind, right? Like you wouldn't actually go M, I think, with how the map structure was. It would only be like a gimmick play, right?
You're saying just generally?
Yeah, like with how the map played out, like wouldn't you always just come back, kill Ridley, go N? I don't think, like, even if you overlooked Meridia, it shouldn't really be a problem unless you were planning on cheesing it.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. So he definitely knows
a cheese opportunity. He might have been looking for like something to catch up.
I think so, because he pointed out M when he saw it, so he didn't see it. Which is unfortunate because he definitely knows he lost time, and like we were saying, that was kind of an opportunity to make some up. But this map is pretty rough too.
Yeah, it's pretty gnarly. I will say in the past, I do think nevdi in general has in interviews talked about how he just will always stick to his plan. So we'll have to try to remember game one. Were you looking for like an out? Right. And that's what I want to know. And I also want to know if he would have went M had he not overlooked it to like try to make up time.
Yeah.
So I am curious about that.
The way he plays is good if that is how he goes about it, always sticking to his plan, because a lot of people try to, let's say, blind. We're trying to maybe blind one boss at the end to make up some time. However, you're just as likely to find that boss on the way to the map. Generally, that's the way it is. So if you just kind of stick to your plan, you'll win more on average.
Yep, for sure. But like you said before, I do think there are moments when in a 1v1 and you respect your opponent that you kind of need to like think about doing it off. If you're really truly, if you know you are behind somehow, if you just know your opponent like could not have messed up and you lost like 6 minutes or so, I think in that scenario it's like perfectly okay to then look for some sort of out, like going all the way to M or something like that. But you don't want to get trapped into you're like, I lost 30 seconds farming, time to cheese, like I'm gonna go all the way to M now, and there are people who do that, and I don't think that's the right play. No, 99% of the time you want to follow your game plan, just play confidently, assume your opponents could easily be having troubles as well, so just stick to your plan and it can work out.
Because a lot of the time your opponent is having similar struggles, so but the worst enemy is just yourself when you're thinking about where your opponent is, and if you're so far behind, and but generally if you just play, I find that the most I lose in competitive lobbies or the most time I lose is if I'm trying to make deviations for like the fun one-off play. And then it just completely goes overboard. And nothing works. And then it becomes a really fun situation.
Exactly. But you have to know that, like you said, those one-off plays, like in this scenario, the M play would have been like essentially a cheese, a gamble. It should not work more often. It will work less in general overall, so it would have just been a cheese play, and in this play it would have maybe worked out and it would have been close, but again,
the reason we say that too is because once we look at the map, M is a much further away zone than just Norfair here.
You just,
since you don't have information, you kind of just play the closest zone. You get information, and then you go from there. Since M is pretty far away, that's like a play to where if someone does it, you're like, wait, why would you do that? Some people might argue that they're afraid that it's isolated. However, you don't know if it's, well, maybe in this case they do with Torian already seen connecting to Norfair. Right. So you might have the argument that it's isolated, but that doesn't mean that it's more likely to have any bosses.
Yeah, that doesn't, yeah, exactly. It doesn't mean a whole lot.
Right, because isolation could mean that Mother Brain is there and isolated.
Oh, dude, by the way, and now I'm not wishing this upon Eddie.
But don't curse him.
Dangerous situation right now. Eddie has not turned his E-Tank to auto. And
he does this. I think he'll remember.
I mean, I
think the more hits he takes, it's better because he's going to look at his HP and he's going to remember.
Yeah. Hopefully, I'm actually growing slightly concerned, but it is better to obviously do it during the cutscene of when Mother Brain is dying. So, and Eddie is very, very sweaty efficient like that, where he'll be like, well, I'm going to save 13 frames if I pause during this cutscene. So he'll probably,
he's getting in a bad spot here.
He actually reacted very well there. Eddie and I were just talking about this. If you are going to... Oh my God. Eddie,
I thought he was toast.
What are you doing, bud?
I thought that was it.
Oh, that was... Okay. That was
okay.
Okay, nice. Ooh, okay. As much as I want it to be closer and stuff, I don't want Eddie to lose because...
No.
His E-Tank's the auto,
Yeah. Ooh, and nevdi wouldn't want that either.
nevdi wouldn't want that either. That was nasty close. My goodness. Okay. Whew, got a little excited there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wouldn't want Eddie to lose that way. But it would have definitely made things 30 seconds. I didn't actually even. I think the ship obviously is very close. I didn't see what it was. So.
Pretty much right here. So.
Yeah.
So Eddie's gonna be taking game 1. I think it's safe to say at this point nevdi can't catch up. So, but we'll see what game 2 has. They have random objectives and the old objectives from the previous tournament. So we will see.
Well, yeah, there it is, guys. Game 1 for what is it? What's the title we've given him, Oats?
The Mesquite Elite.
The Mesquite Elite. Mesquite Elite Eddie takes game 1. nevdi seeing the bad news here, the dot done. He's like, okay, well, yep. Still fighting Fantoon, so that's GG's. And yeah, I guess do we take a little break here and we'll be back for game 2
All right, everyone, welcome back to this best of 3 in the winners quarterfinals. We have Eddie versus nevdi. Eddie took game 1 with a pretty commanding win. That was item draft, and game 2 we have random objectives. So it looks like Eddie opted to ban Bomb Torizo, nevdi banned Acid Chozo, and the picks were Eddie picked bowling, which is essentially 2 objectives because you have to kill Fantoon in order to do bowling. And then nevdi picked Kraid. So the very, very interesting choice of Kraid. I don't think we've had a Kraid pick yet. So
yeah, the Kraid pick was a little silly. While we're thinking of nicknames, as soon as nevdi picked Kraid, I don't know why, but I thought Vanilla Ice. Just the most
so that's
boring and easy pick. My man just wants to play any percent apparently. But yeah, so nevdi picking Kraid, Eddie picking bowling, which gives the 2 objectives.
And then we'll see what the other 2 objectives are. So.
Oh yeah.
Oh, once again, are we just gonna get Morph again immediately, or is it gonna be Varia or Gravity? We'll see.
So I'm looking at the tracker. Does this mean that it's Metroids?
No. We don't know yet.
Oh, okay. We don't know yet. Okay.
So once they pause, we will see.
So instant grav. You know what? I think nevdi actually likes that. Okay. Pit room,
Dragon and
no, they're already pulling. Dragon and pit room.
Yeah, pit room. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so nothing too spicy. We were maybe hoping for like a GT Ridley or something.
Well, that does make this. I mean, it actually changes the. It's funny enough, even though it's nothing spicy, it actually makes it more spicy to me than like a GT situation or Ridley, because it actually completely changes the loadout a little bit, right?
Yeah,
they don't
it
need
does.
to worry about Ridley anymore. So suddenly, if they can get by without Varia and E-tanks, like it does change a good bit of how they might approach this. They don't need to think about Ridley, and in general, map randos, Ridley is the forethought. It's like how you progress and go about the seed, because when you can do Ridley, you can do Mother Brain generally. So yeah, this will change how they approach it, I think. And ice suddenly becomes a lot more valuable.
Yes. Yep. So yeah, should be interesting. They're opting not to go up yet, but I think they're going to try to stay here because they were given gravity. So you kind of look for the next logical progression. Obviously,
Right.
Main Street here is an obvious choice when you get gravity. So
Yep.
all right,
Ooh,
morph ball.
Morph blocked by speed. You know, that's almost like a. I'm almost happy to see that, because now I know we're gonna have speed and morph. I say that, but who knows how long it's gonna take for them to actually find speed. And I don't think this is possibly correct, but yes, he is just checking that to see what the item was, not to actually try to progress through the room, because there's no way you get that. Eddie looks like he's gonna do the same thing. Just wants to check to see.
Oh, he didn't
kind of a
see.
misplay. Yeah, a little bit of a misplay there. Not getting that information,
yeah.
but yeah.
But yeah, so they found the next gravity choice, which is obviously just G4.
Yep.
You don't really know. You just kind of have to pick and choose. If you see Main Street first, you have to do Main Street. There's really no other option.
A little bit of a ping pong situation here, because I think once you get the morph, you might even have to come right back to this room that they're in, because there is an item you can get there as well.
Yeah.
So that's probably what I'd be thinking. You know, I go get this and I go back and get that. Can you? I don't think you can spark from here, right?
I think you need a little bit of height. I think.
There you go.
Should be fine. Yep.
Ooh, barely. Okay, yeah.
Yep. So Eddie's gonna go to the top shelf here, which probably what I would do, because I don't remember the exact amount, but.
Right. Yeah, me too. I was actually, I'm impressed Nevdi knew that. I mean, Nevdi's cooking. He has a slight lead here. Eddie, maybe trying to see, hey, can I get that map? Like, is this possible? But probably not.
Yeah, a little bit rough. Didn't we see power bombs somewhere?
Yeah, we did actually. I forget where though.
So the next
was that was a Main Street, the other item.
Oh, okay, right. So the next choice they have to do here is just go right up to this morph item. So one thing you have to keep in mind with this item is you cannot escape if it's not an explosive. So you can escape, but you have to just leave the room. You can't leave the left room. Now they can, because it's power bombs. But yeah, a lot of times it's rough.
Yeah, there's always a chance that you can get this item, and you just have to leave, because it could have been supers, logical supers, where you get it and leave. But some people forget that, and then you go through the blue door, and then you're completely cooked because you cannot get back. By the way, I think Eddie saved some time here, maybe not saving. Is that what it was? That's actually like kind of, you know, Nevdi had a few room transition ahead, but now suddenly it's back in Eddie's favor, and Eddie's just going to go straight where he knows the next item is. I assume Nevdi will do the same.
Don't save Nevdi. Okay.
I mean,
you can see you
can't save here, because no matter what, it's good. E-tank's actually maybe the worst, because you're kind of looking for missiles or supers, or reserve. But yeah, so maybe if you saved, you could have reverted this. But I think this is right too, just to check down here.
Yeah. I agree. So, this is rough. Oh my goodness. Maybe he should have saved Nevdi. Why didn't you save?
Wait, why didn't you save Nevdi? What are you doing, bud? You okay?
So interesting. He's into Norfair now. It just needs to be a little bit careful with his health.
Ooh, okay, that's a little nasty. Can still go down though. With gravity and power bombs, the down door has a little bit more value, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Because you can't get completely scammed here. I think Eddie's gonna go for map, which is probably where my head would have been at.
Eddie did see early supers, so he knows there's some items up there. There's a super block. He's getting ammo locked right now, but This is still a fine play. I think a lot of
Yeah.
people decide to check that down door so you don't waste a power bomb.
Yep.
Maybe
I'm a little
farm up a
worried
little
about
bit.
nevdi though, especially if Eddie saw supers.
Aqueduct?
Like,
No, not quite.
that would have been nice. That would have been nice for nevdi to see Aqueduct here. Because this.
I think both
path-
plays are fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
don't know.
I mean, it's fine. It's fine. It's totally fine. I think I guess I am just someone who leans more towards map, but that's not necessarily the correct decision.
Ooh.
You know, with that E tank,
Criteria is way up there if you're looking at Eddie's map here. So there is a
Yeah,
major
so-
there. So
that's interesting. So okay, so what? Eddie reverted. Okay, I think that makes sense. What I'm thinking is Eddie could go back. I think he could get the major. He could get that missile, and he could go criteria. It involves some farming, but it's definitely a route. And again, it's instantly where my head's going. I'm not too sure what Eddie's gonna do.
ooh, he found bowling. So
Oh, yep, he's getting the Z tank.
no
taking
E
that
tank.
hit's kind of bad. It's actually pretty bad too, because I think Eddie's doing this with the intention of going to like criteria later, like getting the missile, getting the major. So any health loss is actually pretty bad. It can really inhibit you because Eddie's gonna have to farm now. It's actually kind of a bad situation for Eddie. Let's see if nevdi's able to spike anything on this route.
So nevdi found bowling. So
Yep.
he's just doing some mental math here. He does have enough,
Yeah,
I
you
believe.
don't-
It's just enough to go
Yeah.
in and out if he grabs the speed item.
You gotta be real careful with power bombs in early game. Like it can be such a problem.
Ooh,
E-Tank's nice.
E-tank.
E-Tank's
Yep.
nice. Let's see what we get here.
Oh, Eddie just about jumped into
Ooh,
that
major.
crab. I don't know how he did it.
Eddie's playing.
Oh,
Oh,
bombs. Very
okay.
nice.
Bombs is actually really nice here, I think, early.
Yeah.
Especially with the power bomb count being so low and all these power bomb doors. This is quite good. You know, this isn't. We'll see. I mean, it just depends what this major is. If it's something, what in the world?
What
man? He
is
can't be
Eddie
serious
doing
right now? What is that? All right, so Eddie's like. Honestly, it looks like he's showboating. I don't know what this man's cooking up. He just needs to get into the next room and farm, right? So
Yeah.
not
he just
too
needs
sure
to.
what. I mean, he just really wanted the missile first, but realistically, you just go into the next room and farm up there, right? Right?
Yeah.
I think that was a pretty.
Yeah, because
big
it's bot
misplay.
swoon.
Yeah. I think I was gonna say I guarantee he skips the tank this time because he just has to make up time.
Yep.
The tank's like sort of a luxury. Oh. And he knew it was a reserve, right? So, yeah, he's got to get going. I still like this play from Eddie, by the way. It again is probably what I would have done because I lean towards maps. But like Oates said, both plays are fine. Like
I think both plays are completely understandable, and you don't really have a preference for one or the other because we've already we know wreck ship is the smallest zone. You already explored quite a bit, and that item that you couldn't get to without morph in the crab tunnel was power bombs, but you already have power bombs, so you kind of then so the reason nevdi checks this bottom door too is, like I said earlier, we have only power bombs for explosives, and it's a limited resource essentially. So if you don't check it, then you essentially have to use another power bomb or two to go back to that point at some point if you decide to later.
this is a pretty nice save, by the way, for Eddie. This is a what I would call a generous save because you can cut some of your losses. I will say this major is good for nevdi. That what Eddie picked up, having grab, the value of grapple goes down dramatically. So,
Yeah, it's not a very powerful item at this point, other than just Dragon, which is an objective. But
yeah. So he's doing what I'm saying. I mean, I said Eddie is fully capable of doing this. He can get this missile and go C. This is a little bit. I'll be honest. It is a little bit more gambly than I would think Eddie would do, but he is doing it. I mean,
it could really pay off. It might be isolated, so.
I mean, it certainly looks isolated. We'll see. And
the bummer is going to be if he comes across a super door immediately after.
Yeah, that would be real. So that's the scary part, and that's kind of why, like, I think you've talked about this. Like, doing risky plays when you don't have both supers and power bombs is like kind of can be pretty bad because this whole thing Eddie's doing, he might literally revert like all of this. It would not even be unreasonable for him to revert all of this if he goes all the way into C and gets stopped.
It might be completely pointless. Yeah.
So like, because what has he gotten so far? One power bomb pack and grapple. That's it. That is all this time has been spent. Meanwhile, you know, nevdi did get some information in Norfair. I guess we'll just see if nevdi ends up following the same tracks as Eddie or no. We'll see what he does.
Yeah, I mean, he does have the extra E tank, so it's gonna be easier for him.
Yep, be a much easier mission.
So at this point, I'd say, yeah, nevdi is definitely ahead in a couple different ways here.
So Eddie's actually bailing.
Interesting.
Which is very interesting because I don't really know why. I guess he feels the grapple's worth keeping enough. I mean, I guess for like pants room, it's possible.
Yeah, it might be worth keeping.
I mean, pants room or, you know, a Drake. They do have Dragon objective actually. That could be where his head's at too.
So nevdi's kind of having a little bit of a mental panic right now because you can see he's very indecisive, and it's because he knows there's heat up here, and he doesn't know what's beyond that. So he's just struggling to make a decision. Does he continue to blind in Meridia, or does he continue through here? Which it doesn't necessarily seem like it would be logical to do so. So it's a choice now he has to make.
I'm kind of gonna backtrack on some of the stuff I said. I'm realizing that, you know, meanwhile I do think Eddie's meanwhile Eddie's play was a little like wild, and he bailed on C. He did get missiles out of it, and you know they still need missiles. I don't know if I'm assuming that's not even logical. Missiles. Oh man, this is. I mean, well, he has to load. Oh. Wow.
He can do it. Well, can he do it? I actually don't know if he can. If he can survive laying the power bomb with the manual, because he has to let the power bomb completely explode.
Oh, this is what you meant. I was like, wait, what kind of crazy tech are you talking about to get through this room without
It's gonna be tough. He should get health here, and then okay.
Man, this is a pretty big play for Eddie. I mean, he's in big pink now, and now nevdi's about to be in this farming situation for this. Oh no, he got the missile. He got out.
Sorry. Yeah. So nevdi's good. I mean,
on Eddie. Actually, nevdi is
probably ahead.
It just depends what if he skips the map, he's ahead.
Yeah, which he is skipping this map, so he's just going.
Which, yeah, I mean, well, is he ahead, I guess?
Well, he has the information of Norfair, so he already did scout a ton of Norfair. Ooh, so we see nevdi's objective, Kraid. We already knew Motherbrain was here. We see some X's. I don't know if there's any logical super missile that they can currently grab. There's a couple X's, but it's kind of hard to tell if that's even accessible to them.
I hope he doesn't. I hope something doesn't go. He needs to be able to see that it's big pink, because then this will be good.
Okay, so
and if
Eddie
gets scared here.
Wait, did Eddie already have? Oh, he got a super at big pink. My bad. Okay,
no,
so
he should know he's fine.
Is he?
He's a little confused, but I think he's totally good. It's gonna drop health here. He's fine.
Yeah.
And
another heater now.
A little nice here.
Yeah.
Okay, Eddie making his way through. Gonna pick up this major. nevdi gonna be following in the footsteps here. They do have the trifecta. Well, Eddie does have the the trifecta now. The supers, morph, power bomb.
Why isn't he checking that? He's maybe just assuming it's a missile, but and space jump for Eddie. Doesn't really. Space jump loses some of its value. Its value is movement, essentially, once you already have speed.
Yep. All right, he's thinking. Trying to cook up a plan here.
Yep. I think he's just making sure that he can get back if these are supers.
So I guess what's the I didn't really understand. What was nevdi blocked by in Norfair? Like,
I think missile door.
Okay.
And he didn't have anything, so.
I guess I'm curious what, how they approach it from here. Is nevdi going to go back in the Norfair? Is Eddie going to go back in the C maybe? Or I don't know how they approach it from here.
I think Eddie goes to Norfair. Yeah.
Yeah. So in that sense, is nevdi really? I wonder if that time spent can equate to some sort of advantage. We'll see.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, we'll see.
I don't know if it's enough, honestly.
Yeah, because it looks like nevdi's only about a minute and a half behind here. We'll see, but maybe 2 minutes. But it's really not all that bad. So Eddie's gonna be collecting just some E tanks here, so he has some health to traverse any heat.
Right.
We either need 6 E tanks or Varia and 3. So
Eddie's cooking though, man. Like the thing is, in this scenario where they're just moving through rooms, like yes, nevdi might have only been like a minute behind, but every 5 seconds that go by, he's essentially losing a second, right? So in this scenario where like it's not really decisions and they're just moving through rooms, Eddie is going to gain a lot of time. You know?
Yeah, anyone with like the better movement or like technical skill was definitely gonna benefit from. You already know the decision. There's no more decisions to be made, and you're just running to an objective.
Yep. All right, so nevdi gonna go ahead, take care of Kraid and mate. Wait. Oh, is he
trying to see if?
Oh, no, he just wants to spark through. Okay, I thought he was doing something funky with the boulders. Nowadays, man, I never know if someone's gonna whip out some like nasty tech. You know what I mean? I saw it. I mean, it looked intentional, right? He was ramming into those boulders. I'm like, all right, what kind of crazy tech is he going for? Turns
cooking
out
up a crystal, boulder suit.
Yeah. Oh god. But yeah, turns out he was just running into boulders and trying to get a short charge.
Yeah, and nothing cool.
Yeah. All right. So Eddie looks like he's on his way to Norfair.
Yeah, I would assume so. There's a pivot save here, and
the pivot
Rex.
Nice
if he goes to Rex ship and then Criteria, that would be a crazy play that he would even acknowledge was out of the ordinary. So yeah, he's not going to do that.
Yeah, doesn't really make sense.
It's because Mother Brain is here as well. So you you have to come back to this point essentially. At wherever you go, you're coming back to this point.
Yep. Yeah. Criteria is a psycho play for sure.
Yeah. All of a sudden we see nevdi go to Criteria.
I would not imagine that because nevdi in his mind shouldn't feel behind. I mean, unless he's just like, man, my time wasted in Norfair was really bad, but I mean, it wasn't. That's just how it was.
Yep. So we'll see if this extra info, that map is really bad. That Norfair map is terrible. We'll see if nevdi's map information in Norfair helps him catch up and traverse some of this because he's already seen a lot of this.
He has seen a lot. He blinded a good bit in Norfair early and Eddie lost a good bit of time. He basically did nothing up there. He just got missiles very slowly. I think he was considering going to Criteria and then bailed. So yeah, if nevdi can make up some time here in Norfair, that'd be good. Look at this guy just never having that thing on auto. What a monster.
I know, I hate it.
He's looking for any excuse to, take the damage and go.
Yeah, so I was worried that nevdi may want to go get the wreck ship map now that he has a little bit extra resources, but he is just continuing through Norfair.
It's actually very good that he's not.
Ooh, nice powerbomb drop. I'll have to yell at him about that later.
Heck? That's actually a very good powerbomb drop for him.
That's pretty rare, I think. So
he also just took like way too much damage.
Yeah, to
be honest, because there is like some heat in here, a good bit of heat. So I think that damage is pretty bad to do. But okay, let's see what nevdi can pull off. He's like scaring me a little bit.
He's getting a little close to these crabs, and they do like 14 million damage. So
yeah. Yeah, like you said before, though, this map is like pretty horrible to get. But here's the thing, man. Like, I mean, this room alone, space saves like 20 seconds, right? It's actually like pretty nasty.
Yeah.
And now he finds ocean, so it's pretty good.
Ice.
Oh,
so...
it's really, really good for nevdi to have gotten this now because potentially if it's way out of the way, Eddie will have to be like, okay, I'm sacking majors or I'm gonna go all the way back and grab it. So oh man,
ooh, he's committing.
This is nasty. Seeing that pause, this can really mess up your space jump timing. I'm scared. Oh, nice. Okay.
Oh, he's a master.
This is I mean, geez, what do we got here? Oh yeah. Oh.
Oh well.
Oh, that's actually brutal.
Yeah, I think he could have maybe gotten back with full run speed,
would've
but
tried.
he's going to W now.
Oh,
this is
it's curtains, bud. This is actually like really rough. You know why? Because okay, you know what? Okay, we don't know that for sure.
We don't know.
We don't know that for sure. The thing is, ice is pretty valuable in this seed. But like, you know, he could do this and go C, and C has to have something.
A lot of majors, but 0 objectives.
Oh man.
Wait, no, we do know there's an objective. Isn't bowling here? They have to do bowling.
Is bowling there?
Yes, but they can't do bowling yet. So, oh, maybe nevdi's big brain
maybe, yeah.
play right now. He just knows.
5 majors here is kind of nuts.
It is nuts. So Eddie's gonna go ahead and check this, and then he has to revert. High jump is.
I mean, high jump's pretty valuable, but the reason he's checking that, cause he just like wants to know that it isn't charge or Varia, right? Like you want that information. If that was charge, Eddie would be way more inclined to skip some of these majors, right? Because he won't be able to kill Fantoon for a while, because you know he doesn't know where it is, so he's not going to have charge to be able to clean sweep the game. So if that was charge, Eddie would have to, you know, come up with a different strategy. It is kind of, you know, it's a little bit of a bummer knowing I have space and speed, and now I'm never getting high jump. You know, so
yeah. But no, I like the fact that this seed is creating different paths for the players. Kind of tough.
It's kind of funny because if this pays off, it's so. nevdi's like, it was only one time, but honestly it happens all the time, and
it does. It's almost every other race.
It's failing upwards. So like nevdi did go on a crazy heated one way and got beat down for it, and now he's on a completely different path because he failed, and we call it failing upwards, well, because he's literally going up, and if he gets rewarded in C with Fantoon and like Varia or something, then yeah, this is rough for Eddie. So Ridley, we know Ridley's here, so Ridley's not blocking any paths. Ridley's in Norfair. So Eddie is just pretty much wasting time because none of these are going to help him with the objectives. I don't think there's anything. Here? I didn't see it. So bowling
is here, yes.
I'm kind of surprised Eddie isn't just immediately bailing then, in a way.
I'm surprised as well.
They don't actually need majors, right? Like, they don't need a lot. Like, he can grab them later. I actually think the play is to literally, like, revert, honestly.
I think...
Because what do you need? You just need to kill Fantoon, right? You need pit room. Worry about Mother Brain later once you already have to come back to Norfair. Like, see what you get on the way back to Fantoon. You know what I mean? Doesn't that make a little bit more sense?
Yeah, I think so. I think Eddie is hoping for maybe Varia or something. I don't know.
I mean, Varia would be pretty big because there's always a chance that, like, you know, criteria is just horrible and like heat block, but we've already seen a good bit of heat room, so you know.
And Nito is correct. Sure. Nito says it's hard to adjust your thinking about what loadout you need in a random objective. It is difficult.
Yeah, but I like to hold these runners to high standards, Nito.
Okay, that's true.
I mean, we are in the upper gold bracket winners quarterfinals, so.
And whoever wins faces you.
That's true. And I want to, you know, I expect greatness. So yeah. I mean, the thing is, I think these players are really good, and I wouldn't actually think Eddie is someone who would like He has reasons. I don't think he's actually mixing that up, Nito. I do think he like has his reasons for doing this, and it's most likely like just getting charged so he doesn't have to. I think it may be even for Varia because of the heat rooms. I don't really know, but we'll see.
But as we know in season 4, charge is a its value is low. Also, what is going on here for nevdi? He's not happy. There's nothing in criteria.
We overlooked something then, right? Oh, well, then this makes sense. We just overlook. If there's a connection and end, I mean, it's cooked. It's over. GG. Like, I didn't see. There must be a connection here, which then suddenly it makes sense why Eddie's grabbing all of these.
Yeah. Well, he didn't fail upwards this time. Vanilla Ice is, let us all down. No. I think what Nevdi is probably going to do is try to get information here, and then he's going to, I'd imagine he starts skipping items. I don't know. So Eddie did just get charged. Nevdi knows where ice is. Maybe he just picks up ice.
Okay, so that's totally my bad. I did not see the Bryn connection, so Eddie's play made a lot less sense to us. But because Bryn is here, it actually makes way more sense why Eddie's collecting.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he just wants to be able to kill Mother Brain now, right? So, and you might as well collect it here now before moving on, because then you can get maybe some more movement for progression. I will say
B is over there, and he's looking at C. He's actually doing the math right now. So someone said, what are the odds he goes to C here? I think actually, it's kind of nasty going to B, but I think he has to check B.
Well, it just depends what's closer. If there's there's that pivot save too in Business Center, right? So like going to C is not completely unreasonable if it's closer.
Yeah, that pivot is nice.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like he's going to C right now, right?
Yeah, but there's 2 E-tanks down there. He does have heat to traverse. Okay, he's going to, yeah.
I really want him to go C because I want this to be closer. So I'm wondering if nevdi... I mean, to be honest, I don't really... I mean, yeah, obviously, I want a game 3. And I just want the games to be close, of course. But yeah. I'm slightly biased in the sense that I don't really like seeing plays that seem ridiculous to be rewarded. So like, nevdi failing this and then going to C. Yes, I wanted it to work out for this seed, but in general, there's a part of me that's happy it like isn't.
In general, it's if you win and then we're like talking about it afterwards in our classic yap sessions.
Yeah, like it's funny. It's funny, but like it's not, it doesn't feel quote unquote deserved. Like it's a little bit ridiculous.
Yeah. Nevdi always goes, "Oh, I have something to confess," and then he confesses that I actually, died in Norfair and I went immediately to WC, and then we're like, "Oh, okay, that's cool."
I will say it wasn't really completely unreasonable here. I mean, it wasn't, right? 'Cause he died, so like once he died, the decision.
He could have gotten back with 80. He had space.
Oh yeah, I think he needed to try. I think he needed to try to run back. For sure. I think at least try. I think he just. I think he just assumed it was like way too low, but didn't really factor in speed, and space, So, yeah. So, Eddie is on his way to B. It's gonna be pretty hard pressed for nevdi to catch up here. I don't really see a lot of options. I mean, nevdi's just behind an entire zone essentially, because he went. He did end up going C. Had nevdi not done that, it honestly would have been quite close. So it's unfortunate. I mean, again, it's not completely his fault for doing that. I think I understand. I understand the logic. Like once you die, sure, especially if C, I think, was maybe closer and he had the save, but he needed to just be a little more careful and not. He's done this a few times actually. It's where he goes on a one-way heat room, not knowing what's next. That's like pretty risky. I don't like that.
Yeah, you if you do that, you have to know that you can get back. So you have to understand if the next room is heat, let's say, can I turn around and still survive what I just went through?
Right.
In that case, if the next room was heat, no. But
there's no way. Yeah. If you have a save, it's different, like a close save. But
okay, let's see what nevdi does here. I think he's looking at B. He might grab those E-tanks and also just follow Eddie here. So Fantoon is not in Brinstar. Didn't see the connections here, but Eddie's going to be looking for that connection.
I did see Pit Room and Dragon.
Varia. So Varia for Eddie. Yep. And I think someone said Torian is the top right. So
okay. So yeah, Pit Room Dragon is in B, Torian top right, which is where Fantoon is. I guess right here the decisions for nevdi is, do I just skip these majors and go? And that actually is what he's doing, which I like. So, you know, I mean, that he just made up a lot of time skipping those majors. But what that means is he needs to be able to get some X's on the way, right? Like there needs to be some ammo.
Yep.
Yeah, no charge, but again, the value of charge is greatly diminished. And I actually see a good bit of X's, so it could work out. And supers are much faster than what Eddie has.
I think in this game mode, yeah, in this game mode, I think it favors just doing ammo because if you don't have Ridley to kill,
that, to be honest.
Yeah, if you don't have Ridley, you can kind of just collect a ton before your last objective, which requires ammo, which is Mother Brain.
Yep.
You have a longer like collection period of items.
Right. I mean, charge gives you really nice security, and like Eddie does have Vario charge, and that's fine. But the DPS of supers is actually kind of crazy too. So yeah, it will. If nevdi can make this work, and get good X's, then there is potential for a little bit of a catch up here. I think for sure. You'd be surprised how fast you evaporate Mother Brain with supers. Like if Eddie doesn't pick up any more majors, it'll be a lot. You know, it would be a much faster fight for nevdi. So we'll see how it turns out.
Yeah, I think nevdi knows that. I think he understands the fact that he went back to he went to N and then reverted, went to W, went to C. Now I think this is why he's playing more aggressive. Is because of that
spike suit. I don't know what
actually it's spark suit.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah,
sorry.
Anyways,
let's move on from that. What did he grab it for though?
I don't know, he probably felt like having it.
That's cool.
I might use it here.
Do this. Oh, nice.
Just pointless and losing a time. Just losing him a couple seconds, but.
Oh, jeez.
But it was worth.
Yeah. Shout out to Alex.
Yeah.
All right, so nevdi now is in Bryn. Needs to find map. Eddie does have a sizable lead right now. I think he's taking care of pit room. He's done that. nevdi actually getting this Vario will be pretty nice too, because then he's like can for sure skip E-tanks.
Yeah.
And then just focus on X's.
Oh, he's looking for Fantoon, but he thought he found it.
Look at that. Yeah. He thought he was
thinking he's all cool about it. Oh, just get the map, nevdi.
Oh, man. Okay, yeah.
He's You can't do that point.
nevdi, come on.
That's my point.
He needs to get it together. He just wasted like
What is he doing?
This is actually the worst play.
Look, he's going to point. He's going to, yep. Vanilla Ice. Here comes the Vanilla Ice point. Oh, there it is. That's a bummer.
Okay, honestly, very deserved.
Is that how I look when it's not Fantoon? Oh my god, I gotta stop doing that.
Oh my goodness. That was abysmal, man.
Well, he's gonna blind Varia here. Very nice.
Very nice.
Instead of just grabbing the map, now he's blinding items before the map.
Because in nevdi's position, I legitimately don't even think grabbing that was good, but I don't know. Maybe it was. Chances are you have to grab it anyways because he needs to lean towards ammo here.
Okay, so he's gonna see these two objectives, and then
I think he needs to go down and grab those X's too, for sure.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we can only cope so much for nevdi here. My cope tank is running dry.
The cope tank is that every X he grabs is supers.
The biggest cope is that Eddie dies, some other brain doesn't save. We got to stay neutral here for the opponents, but Eddie has a very commanding lead. He's taking care of Fantoon. He goes immediately back to bowling.
Yep.
So it's pretty tough for nevdi to catch back up at this point.
It is a slow fight for Eddie, but yeah, I mean you're right. It is tough.
Yeah.
Eddie's not gonna turn on auto. He's gonna take 9, catch ups, and then yeah.
Yeah. And it is unfortunate. So Nevdi is one of the biggest like outspoken people about how he does want some sort of balance, I guess. So the fact that you go into W, you just get a grapple, which is pointless at this point, other than Dragon. But you get grapple, and then you go into C, and you get nothing. It's just a large zone, just barren.
Yeah.
It feels pretty bad. So it's not even Varia there. You get nothing. You get no value. You essentially just lose time, but it's not necessarily a bad play in some cases. So yeah, I know Nevdi is definitely thinking about that. The fact that numerous zones have absolutely nothing for him.
By the way, this fight isn't going to be like super fast. He doesn't have high jump, so getting the sparks a little more messy. And well, okay, nice. He has 2 decent sparks so far, so maybe he'll clean it up nice. But yeah, you're right. I mean, I'm also someone. I have my own. Oh, okay, never mind. He's good.
He's an 80% runner.
I mean, he is. That was pretty.
Look
good,
at
though.
that.
Oh,
He's making you eat your words.
My bad. All right, this is the second time I have to apologize. I've calmed 2 of Nevdi's matches, and I've doubted him twice, and now I owe him yet another apology. And
worth it. That was.
I'm actually taking back my apology.
Okay. Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah, that was good though. That was. I like the effort there.
I actually don't like what Nevdi's doing, and he's skipping 2 close X's, potentially 3. Because that one was a double. I think skipping those majors, you have to grab those X's, is how I feel.
I think at this point, he's hoping that like maybe there's a couple majors left. Maybe he did a count and he knows there's like 2 outstanding.
Yeah, I don't think he should feel so behind though. But yeah, you're right. I mean, I guess maybe. Or he's gonna grab him later by Mother Brain. I'm not too sure.
I think he feels behind because of his revert and then back to wreck ship criteria.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
Be hard to not feel behind after that.
Yeah, because like I said in the previous match, there's only like one logical thing to do there, and at that point, it just makes more sense to go to Norfair. So he knows that that's what Eddie's doing.
Right. He could imagine Eddie though. The thing is, like, Eddie easily could have went criteria early, and I actually thought that's what Eddie was going to do.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, like you said, there wasn't like a ton of options once they went into Norfair. Completely linear, essentially, once they went into Norfair.
Right, and I think that the fact that Eddie got it out of the way early as well, and then knew that criteria was there. And then I can't remember if he tried to do it, but he just couldn't. It basically gave him more incentive not to do anything else in wreck ship.
Yep. Taking a little nap. It is a long sequence.
Yeah, 30 seconds or so.
Can sometimes be nice at 80%. Get a little breather, rest your hands a little bit, re-prep for the now more egregious segments coming up.
Yep. Oh, very nice Doppler from Nevdi.
That was nice. Yep. Good air dop.
All right, so Eddie is just trying to figure out his path back to Mother Brain.
Ship is in Norfair, so they have that settled too. I mean, I guess Eddie has not seen criteria, so, but it doesn't really matter. It's actually only good for him. That means he was able to successfully skip the zone.
Yeah, I mean, I think Eddie might be a little bit afraid too, thinking that Nevdi's right on his tail, because he played really aggressive at the start, and it really didn't work out for him.
Yeah, I
with
agree.
the whole wreck ship play. So
I think he spent a lot of time there actually. So I think Eddie is like trying to cook.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still moving really well, right? And he did spend a lot of time grabbing majors, but it ended up being worth it. Like, he got charged. He has Varia charged, so he shouldn't feel bad about that. Just the early play.
Yep.
And Nevdi really would have been on his I mean, Nevdi, essentially, that's the difference a bit, you know, of like at least the major time loss. Like, you know, Nevdi might have still been behind, but not this behind, right? Like, it wouldn't have been too bad had he not died there.
Yeah. Right now, Nevdi's trying to plan out a basically just game plan for his finishing ammo for Mother Brain.
Yeah.
So he's looking at majors, X's that he can maybe pick up on the way, or he didn't remember where bowling was. I'm not sure if that's what happened, but
maybe that's why he waited, because if there's any majors on the way, I mean, I think it can make sense, right? Because if he spikes charge like anywhere here, then he doesn't need to go back and grab those. So it could make sense to skip those and just, be forced to grab them later.
Oh yeah, so we forgot to do this last time, but guess the escape time. Get your guesses in. We'll see who's closest. Sorry about last time, but I think last time was a pretty... Was it a short escape?
Yeah, it was 30 seconds.
Yeah. So we'll see what this one is.
Eddie doing this fight. And again, I think this beam is, 180 damage with charge shots. So definitely like a pretty weak beam,
Yep, it's 100 shots.
Like near 100 shot. Yeah. Is it exactly 100?
Yep. 180 and then 18,000.
Yep.
But I mean, obviously with his supers and everything.
Yeah, he has a couple of supers and a couple of missiles, which he will fire off, I'm assuming. It is more DPS to use your missiles here for sure.
Yep.
I am a little curious. I guess nevdi's just going to collect these majors, and then that's his plan, to see if it's... I mean, honestly, though, if I'm nevdi, I'm feeling a little uncomfortable here. Like, let's say it was like, he didn't have any shambles. This is kind of tough, right? Because you're, like, banking on these majors being charged right now by not grabbing those X's. That's why I'm a little confused. I guess I feel like if you skip majors, you're going in with the intention of like, okay, I'm going to like look for ammo. So I don't love being in this situation of like, well, I sure hope that's charge, because he still has. I guess he knew X-ray. If he knows there's like 4 majors, because there's only.
Well, I don't know if I mind his play, because he knows he has to come back here near these majors.
Yep.
So he can definitely pick up charge elsewhere. So if he would have picked up charge elsewhere, then all of these majors would have been for nothing. So I think optimizing, I think it's pretty solid.
I guess if you're playing the odds, it is good. But your
55.
worst case scenario here is like instant. You're actually like completely doomed.
Yeah.
But actually, you know what? I think I'm... You know what? I think because he saw C, I don't know if there was a major there. If there's a major, he left.
I don't think there's
anything. If
anything.
there was no major, then actually this is fine, because then he just knows one of these is charged, right?
Yep.
So actually, yeah, that makes sense. If he knows there's no major C, then he knows one of these is charged. So that actually makes a lot more sense. If that's probably... I think you're right. I think that's probably his plan.
Yeah, a couple people guessed 55. Nice. Deuce.
People are getting good at that. Guessing
Zebra, yeah.
Okay, yeah, so that makes sense. And that's why Eddie had to grab him, because he did not see C. So he just had to, like, see if charge was here.
Yep. All right, so Eddie is on his way to the ship. This will mean it's 2-0. That puts nevdi down in the lower brackets, and Eddie will go on to face Nito at some point here. So that will be very entertaining. GG's Eddie
versus Nito. GG's Eddie taking game 2, 2-0. Very clean. I mean, Eddie was playing incredibly well. Who's nevdi going on the face? Do we know?
Let me take a look.
I assume you can't know for a while, huh? Only assumptions.
I think this puts him pretty far. So it's 112, and then he will face probably, if the seeding is correct, Mo or Tickles. So
okay.
All right, we are joined by both our players. Welcome
on in, Eddie and nevdi. Congrats, Eddie, for taking the dub. GG's to both of you. GG.
Yeah. So we can talk about this, the most recent.
So
we're a little bit disappointed that you didn't fail upwards, but also at the same time, we're happy because you shouldn't be able to fail upwards all the time, nevdi.
What was my fail up? What was my fail upwards?
When you didn't
died in
save
Norfair.
for a significant amount of time, and then you went through the heat, and then you only had 80 HP, and then you find the back of Spore Spawn. So then that forces you to. Well, it doesn't force you. You decide to go to wreck ship, and then you decide to go to sea, which has absolutely nothing.
Oh no!
Not even a major, I don't think.
I already felt pretty bad, like with my journey to Norfair, and every door was blocked.
So
you were
you
essentially
were
tied.
feeling bad. You were actually feeling bad there. That's kind of surprising because you had the information, a little bit more information. You were able to move a little bit more in there and spike that major an aqueduct, but yeah, it was actually close. Well, real quick, before we go on, before we go on that, I just want to ask a quick question to Eddie. Eddie, were you considering going to sea early?
I thought about it for a bit, but there's a super door, right? At the very
I didn't
end.
see if it was missile or
sea,
super door,
right?
yeah.
The super door is guarding the entrance to sea.
Oh, okay. I didn't actually see that. Okay.
Yeah, there's a red. There's all three colors. There's a red, there's
door.
orange,
I
and
didn't
green.
know that the super was guarding it. Okay, because
there's a super door at the end.
Yeah, basically, nevdi, Eddie had some shambles early. So at the start, how it went is Eddie did get wreck ship map pretty quick, and nevdi was in Norfair, like going through Norfair, and it was kind of working out because like nevdi got bombs, he got an extra E-tank, and Eddie was like doing very low HP shenanigans up.
Cathedral on 0+1 was a little dicey.
So like it was just gnarly, and it was taking him a long time to like get that missile and get out. He had a couple like issues and deaths. So anyways, my point is like, I guess I was surprised you're feeling uncomfortable because I don't think you really, even in your position, I felt like you didn't, you wouldn't have lost too much time, right?
Well, I mean, like, I know the missile's there, right? Because I scouted early, and I'm like, it's not going to be. That's not going to be the missile. Like, I'm just going to progress. It's rarely ever going to be the gate. But when every door just blocked me, there was like nothing I could do.
Oh, was that the missile? You needed that missile?
I guess I'm not sure what missile was like logical, but it maybe was that like getting more E-tanks. However, nevdi, you
couldn't even get Aqua.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You did save a lot of time by getting the missile and bailing, because potentially you're going to skip wreck ship map and sea map, right? So it actually saved a lot of time, and you went straight in the end and spiked ice, and we're like, okay, this is actually pretty good.
Yeah, because Eddie didn't get ice. He went down and was heading towards the map. So you were kind of cleaning up pretty nicely. And then the revert happened, and then the wreck ship play, which wasn't all bad because bowling was there, right?
That's why.
Yeah.
I'm like,
so
Fantoon might be up and bowling.
If Criteria had Fantoon, this would have went very, very different.
Well, you didn't know it was bowling yet, right? Or did you?
No, he saw.
Oh no,
bowling.
you did. You did do it. You got items there early. Yeah, that makes sense.
I was there. Sometimes you just have to like accept that. I was definitely Criteria's on my mind, but I was just like at peace. I'm like, I'll take this L if it's somehow up there and I get in trouble, because you just have to make a choice, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I was definitely thinking like, oh God, I hope I don't have to go all the way back there.
Yeah, because there's a very real world where you're supposed to go down and you just get like the means to go to sea, right?
It's a big sigh of relief when I find Fantoon all the way deep in Turian, I believe. Yeah, it's a sigh of relief. Yeah. Then I'm like, okay,
terrible if it was not in Torian, and then
yeah. nevdi, before I forget to, I had a question for the first match. When you were, I forget what zone it is, but there's an option towards the end of the game, and I know you felt behind probably because you went on that whole disastrous run where it was just like an empty zone, and then your out was Norfair, and then Norfair was just completely blocked by Heat Room, and you're like, okay, well, KGG, and then you had to farm the fish for like a while. That was pretty rough. So I'm assuming you felt pretty behind there, right? So after that, were you thinking about gambling on another zone?
Did we lose nevdi?
Oh no! Well,
he left. He said, "I don't like what you're saying about me. I'm out of here."
No, I'm super. I mean, I'll even ask him this offline because I'm curious.
So Eddie, if you remember the first match, you find Harubi, and Harubi was supers, and then you immediately left. Nevdi decided to stay and go to the bottom right door, but that is awful because it's
the bottom
it's a
right
ton-
door.
Yeah, it's heat, but it's not a bad play in general, but it just turns out to be terrible because there's absolutely nothing. You get into a position to where you haven't saved in a while because there's no save after you get to that, like the supers, I believe, and then you have to get out, which is pretty rough. So he was in a position where he's farming the fish in fish tank.
It was pretty brutal.
So if I remember correctly, I think we had a tank, just a tank or two. But
Two
would
tanks,
if we were healthy, I would probably just check that bottom right door. But because
two, it's a little scary.
That's exactly why, right? Because it's like getting through the room is fine, but like it can get really, if that bottom right door isn't good. I don't know if we had like a save that was like really close, right? Like it can get really dicey, and it looks like that's exactly what happened to him, right?
Yeah.
So like because of this chance of being like in a really dicey situation, I'm not willing to do that when I have some other options that are fine as well, right? So I was like, I don't want to go through that door. I was definitely thinking about it though, but I quickly wrote it off.
I mean, you were
Something I don't
cooking
wanna
that
do.
first seed. Like you played well and like you stuck to the path, and it just
Yeah.
like,
The
there
only-
weren't a lot of hiccups. There were like basically no hiccups for you.
The only one that would have concerned me is I did put Meridia off for last, right? And then Fantoon was there. That was the only thing.
Which was logical. You should
Yeah,
have done
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So what we were hoping for Nevdi is, he goes and kills Kraid, and then he knows that he lost time, and then he goes for Meridia because he knows you're going to Norfair. It's just the logical thing to do.
I think it's
However-
okay to go to Meridia. It's like pretty close
I mean,
there too.
it's much
I think
further
it's
away
better.
because
It's sort of close, but not. I mean, for
It's-
him,
it's
it
further
made sense,
away.
but
Yeah.
it was literally Ridley, which you both had the means to kill, and the Norfair was right next to you. So like,
Norfair was
yeah.
in the next room.
going to Meridia was like a psycho play kind of, but in Nevdi's position, I'm like gonna do that first. You like 100%.
Yeah, it was one room versus
way
like
too much
5.
time.
So
Yeah.
I think it's not as bad as it seems, and the only reason why is the moment you commit through the Ridley, because Meridia from the Ridley room isn't that far, right? But the moment you decide to go out to the right and you go down the crumble, now Meridia becomes far. So that's like the reason why I think it's okay to go to Meridia, because if it actually like it's really hard to get back once you
Wait,
decide to go through the crumble.
This isn't the map you're looking
No,
at.
it's
is
the
not
last
one.
map. So what
The
Eddie's
previous
talking about
map,
is
yeah.
you just need to go up top and then through the green gate again. But okay, generally you wouldn't
Yeah.
do that. If you have to be objective about it, you're not going to do Meridia. You're going to do Norfair.
Yeah.
So
I had to think about it though.
the
It wasn't
thing
like
is,
right away.
Nevdi didn't even do Ridley on the way back. He went right into Torian and then Norfair.
Yeah.
So and then once he got to Norfair and didn't see that there was anything for him, he looked at the map and then he saw M and had a reaction. So we're thinking that he just completely didn't see it.
Okay.
Which is funny because I still don't think. I think he. Oh, Nevdi,
is
you
there?
back, brother?
Hello?
Welcome
Oh,
back.
this question
Are you
crashed
back?
my internet.
I didn't do anything.
Well, it's my
Full
question,
lost
but
it.
yeah, that's how I know you've lost it, brother. Oh no, no.
Yeah.
So what
That's why I
asking
lost
you-
it was lagged, like the internet lag. It's
Oh,
crazy. I just
yeah,
couldn't
true,
play
true,
the
true.
console. Yeah.
Oh, we have to
Yeah.
replay the matches then? Okay.
Nevdi, I was just curious about the first match. Like we were just talking about how you lost all that time going down. You got blocked everywhere, and then you went to go to Norfair, and it was a huge dead end, and it just was
I
horrible.
thought it was over. Yeah.
No, I know. Well, let's keep talking about it. You had to farm the fish for the next like 3 minutes. Eventually you got back, right? So when you got back, were you? I want to know if you were just gonna stick to your game plan and like just try to play standard and just like win anyways, or were you looking for like another out? Because Norfair was your out, didn't work. We thought you were actually gonna go Meridia.
We thought you were going to kill
furthest
Ridley
zone.
on the way through, but you skipped Ridley. And then after Ridley, we thought you might do M because it's kind of a counterplay to Norfair, since Norfair was just in the next room.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Were
I
you
blacked out.
considering that?
To be honest, I don't know what was going on after that Norfair.
Oh, okay.
I
wasn't
think-
really like honestly, it was like it's not good to play like this, right? Like try and metagame and try and do things, but I was pretty much done with that one, and I was like trying to think of the next one and just playing straight up like I was going to do. I wasn't looking for an out, wasn't looking for a play. I just wanted to keep smooth and just keep playing like I normally would. So I wasn't considering anything. I was just
Okay.
just trying to move and run again.
I think there's a world.
Right.
I don't know how. Maybe it was like really, really bad for you, right? But I mean, like, there's a world where I go through that door too, and then like, who knows how bad my situation becomes as well, right? But I don't know.
Depends on your
he thought it was
opponent
completely over.
Yeah,
It was
obviously.
also the early game too. Like we still get like this is map rando, right? Like we can do so many. I guess I'm a little bit more susceptible out of like the higher end players of doing this, but you still get like checked by map rando. You still get humbled, and that early game humbled me. And then on top of that end, it was both together that I was like, man, like this is just not a seed for me. This is rough. So the later half felt good, and I felt good heading into game 2, and that was because I didn't diverge. I just kept playing. Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay.
I mean, I think that's good to always stick to your plan. I do think, though, that in that situation, especially like you were saying, you felt like you were not giving up on it, but just trying to stick to your plan. I guess I feel like that's even more reason to just go M. And like
we
just
thought
play
you
calmly and like, because I think it's in any game of chance like this or something. Like if you're behind, like it's pretty fine to go for a Hail Mary, right? That's just like a reasonable option. Like that's your one out. You have no real out now, right? So if you're going in the Norfair, you're already accepting that, like, you know, if Eddie played the same, I lose, you know, because he's also going here. Because you know Eddie's going to go Ed in that scenario. So I guess I'm just wondering.
I mean, it obviously would have worked, right? Yeah, it obviously would have worked. But to that point, I guess, like I already spent the time.
Well, we said
getting
this
the Torian
before
map.
we saw it, by the way. Like we didn't see it, so this isn't like Captain Hindsight. You know, we were talking about this play before we saw Enter M, like what the map was. Because I was like, I would go M here 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I guess if you find it's just like I spent the time finding the Norfair map, and when I jump back into Torian, I don't have to do that trek that I've already done. So I'm like consolidating that time I've already spent getting the team map and just going right. But I think that's like nowhere near insurmountable to the time killing fish for 5 minutes or whatever.
Right.
So
You had a reaction. So when you looked at the map real quick, you had a reaction like you missed the Meridia entrance. So we thought you just didn't even see it.
Yeah, so we kind of thought that we're like, oh, like Nevdi knew he was in trouble and he like didn't see M and like missed his opportunity. We were kind of like, you know, trying to figure out the thought process there when it looked like you were surprised.
No,
because
I actually
going
missed
M
Ridley.
is, I think, just not good. Like in general, if you go, we were both playing clean the whole time, no issues. Like going M is like probably unreasonable. So yeah, I think it's like the unreasonable plays can very rarely be reasonable, and this was maybe like one of those times. I'm not saying that, but I also do think it is in general better for most people to just always stick to your plan, because Eddie could have fumbled too. Like Eddie was saying, he could have went down there and bonked into some fishies and died, and easily could have happened. So sticking to your game plan is like very good too. You
know what I felt was like kind of weird. Once you get the Norfair map, right? I feel like it's just like an awkward situation. I definitely
first or second seed.
The second seed, right?
Okay.
There's definitely a hot minute where I like kind of forgot we don't have to kill Ridley, right?
Oh, we were thinking about that.
So it gets kind of dicey to collect all the majors. I did in the end, but like I definitely abandoned some, but I wasn't sure what majors to collect, right?
Nito had mentioned that.
Yeah, Nito mentioned it. I didn't know if you'd fall. I didn't think you'd actually like kind of fall into that trap, but Nito kind of had some foresight in chat. Because I was a little curious. I was like, I'm a little surprised Eddie's like grabbing every one of these majors.
Yeah.
I feel like, it's maybe not necessary, but it is like pretty safe option to do.
It was it was like kind of necessary, but not really. Because like by the time I finished, I was like good, and I got the 2 tanks by Lava Dive. But we did have to go through like Lava Dive, right? Yeah. And I also had like no supers. So like the way that it ended up working out for me, I think was great, which is because I spiked charge, right, and I was ready to go after that, right? So that's when I was like after I collected a few, that's when I was like, I think I still need to collect the ones that are nearby, because charge is like my out to beat the game at this point, right?
Right.
But I also like Varia would help because I didn't have a suit, right? And we have to go through like a lava dive and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I thought it was like kind of like a weird spot to be in. It's very, I'm so attuned to like when you have to kill Ridley and stuff.
Yep.
But yeah, like, you know, I still needed more tanks and some other stuff. It was just hard to like think about it. Also, like my beam was kind of crappy as well, so
Yeah,
it's
your
like
beam was a little rough.
so it's like weird. I don't know what the balance is, like hard to know exactly, right? But
Yeah, well, that's why I thought the seed was interesting, because there was no massive objective. Like it was basically just the means to beat Mother Brain and traverse through rooms, right? So I thought it would lead to some pretty interesting decisions.
yeah,
Nevdi, actually, are you? I don't know if you're still. You're not disconnected, right? Okay.
No.
Okay. So when you, I was pretty happy to see that you skipped some majors, because I think like once you reverted and went up and got nothing, which was tragic, that like, okay, probably have to make up some time. I thought you were gonna lean towards X's a little bit. What was your intention there? Like, so you got like one major, and then I think you went on to the next zone. Were you still just planning on grabbing the majors on the way back, or what was your?
If I needed to, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, like you know, Mother Brain's there, right? We'd have to kill Ridley, so let's just go get the majors on the way in the next path, and then
Right.
like, there's just no point picking those majors there, I guess, until I know I need them. So I do them at the end. Only because Mother Brain's
yeah,
there.
that makes sense. Yeah, and I think did you also factor in that like I wasn't even thinking about this until later, but because you saw C and I think you saw no majors there, I guess you could kind of assume that charge, you know, if you don't find charge on your way to Fantoon, then it has to be in Norfair, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, it has to be it has to be the rest of my game. Like, there's a more incentive for me to find charge because, you know, I pretty much know it's down here where Eddie could be thinking it's in C. So there's a next argument for Eddie, where there's me. It's just like, you know, I'll just get the majors. Don't think about it.
Yeah, I didn't figure that out till later because I was a little confused, and I was like, oh, okay, that actually makes sense because Eddie didn't CC and you did. So yeah, that made more sense for sure.
Yeah. I feel like this is just like an interesting spot, just because like, you know, like there's like two steps of like collecting ammo, right? One is like in that mid game to kill Ridley when you see him, and then you need the 40-30, right, to like finish Mother Brain, right? So, but then the weakness of charge is if you have a really crappy beam and Varia, like the Ridley and the Mother Brain fight are both slow, right? But because we only have to kill Mother Brain, it's just one slow fight if we have like a weak beam. I think it just gets weird, like thinking about how to like calculate like what a good, you know, like the value of charge here. But like it's hard to like there's like the benefit of collecting X's is like even the power bombs will help you kill Ridley if you get like a Varia suit or something like that, right? But it's weird because we have no urgency for that. So it's kind of hard to say what's best. I don't know how much I regret picking up some of these, but it seems like it worked out fine.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Any other final thoughts? There were two very good matches. So,
yeah, just GG Eddie. I think that this would have been the first time we've played in 4 years or something, right?
Yep.
Wow.
First time we played in Map Brando. Last time you beat me in the grand final of League.
Yep.
Now, yeah, just beat me again. So you kind of a bit rude, Eddie, to be honest. A bit rude,
bad.
like
feels bad, huh?
Yeah, it's like those, you know, when we get in a lobby, right? And you know, someone finishes and then you finish halfway. That's what this sort of feels like. It's kind of like, oh, you know, that's a write-off. But it happened 2 games in a row, and then there's like nothing I can do about it.
So it's kind of hard to write it off at that point. But no, it is what it is. Eddie played very well, and you played very well too. There's a couple deciding factors that really did it. So it's interesting looking at the bracket now. It's who would have guessed it? The 1 seed, the 2 seed, the 3 seed, and the 4 seed are all in the semifinals. So kind of
pretty
interesting.
Sick how that
is pretty sick.
How that ended.
I think it just kind of shows how consistency and you know, the decision making in our normal races kind of pays off. I think it's just showing that currently with the top 4 seeds being in the semifinals.
Yeah,
for sure. I think that's a really good showcase for Map Brainer to see that in a best of 3 in a tournament that the top 4 are up there. So
it actually is kind of
be interesting to see if anyone can sneak into that. I think
We'll all be
It seems
trying
like
down here, clawing our way back.
Let's
You
go,
too, Nevdi.
let's go, man.
Yeah.
Hey, what's your side looking like?
I'll be fighting. If I were to, it'd be like I have played like 15 matches. Right? So
Yeah.
I've played a lot of matches already, actually.
And Eddie, now you go on to play Nito. How do you feel about that?
Ooh, I'm excited. That's gonna be a fun one. Yeah.
That should be
Okay.
a very
Honestly,
fun one.
it doesn't
Yeah.
matter if it was any of the three. I'm like, okay, this is gonna be fun.
Yeah.
No, at any point in this, whoever you play is going to be really, really brutal. So,
Yeah.
Nito is scary though. He's he understands the logic very well, and he's very consistent, and he just keeps moving. So,
Yep.
it's so I'll play, and I'm sure this has happened to all of us, but you'll play extremely well. You'll go, where did I lose time? And you'll still sometimes you'll lose to Nito, and you'll have to like review the VOD. And that's where you kind of learn the most, like, oh, you're losing time here and there. And so it's just very impressive how good he is at micromanaging those little time saves.
Yep.
For sure.
I'm just trying to scare you, Eddie, before your next match. So,
No. I know very well. I've been watching him
Nito's a
before he
monster,
was
right?
racing. Yeah. He just loves. He just plays like I was watching him just do this like frame perfect, pixel perfect jump through like the bottom with speed booster and getting through Everest. I was like, you do one turnaround, you lose too much height. He was doing something like that the other day. He just does that like all the time. So
yeah,
he's always well practiced on all this stuff. So yeah, dangerous guy to play against.
Well, yeah, very well. So good job, guys. Just want to thank Emmett for commentating, and thanks for tracking Mateus. So yeah, I don't know if you have anything else to
thanks
say,
so
Emmett,
much.
but yeah.
Oh yeah, I was muted. My bad. But yeah, GG's guys. It was a lot of fun to commentate. Thank you as well, Oates. And yeah, I hope to see you guys still pop off. Only hard matches from here on out, for the top four. So it's like every match is gonna be brutal.
Yep.
And even clawing out your way out of losers to everyone now is like incredibly difficult, right? So,
Yeah, it's tough. So yeah, keep your eye on the schedule if you're looking forward to future matches. So thanks for watching, everyone, and we'll see you next race. So
GG's, y'all.